Station here. It's by no means going to be easy.
No, I think both these teams are at 2-0 on the day. United's had a bit of a rough road to get here, but again, they have not lost yet. And the winner will move on to next weekend. Here's Typical with the pass to Arsenal, a little bit behind his teammate. Will hit the reverse, but get covered up by the eUnited defense. Here's Typical to the corner. Reynolds will grab the boost. Oxford and Typical drag racing back to their own half. Arsenal will set this one up for himself. Locked onto the backboard. Tries to put it behind One to Mike, but One to Mike actually reads that one. Now Typical lofted again. Reynolds gonna let Typical chase that, and now come in the midfield. Go up against Oxford. Tries to put the brakes on him. Gets two of them. Oh, they're dead. They had families.
Oh, Reynolds, I love this. Look at this wide cut out to the right. I'm going to get over here and just rip this to the back post. Nah, how about I just gently chip it right above your heads? Oh my goodness.
Start carving the tombstones now. They're deceased. Oh, that was brutal. Reynolds makes them pay. One goal now. 4:07 on the clock, just in the first minute. Now Arsenal going up against Hoxer. Into the corner. Typical. There's that one back in the midfield, and Arsenal will rotate out. United will look to somehow recover from the shambles they were just put into.
And it's such that shot from Reynolds is such an interesting defensive scenario to get yourself put into, right? Because if Reynolds catches that ball right there like he does, you know there's only one option. It's not like he can just drive straight into the net. He's going to run right into you. You know he's going to let that ball travel to the right side and try and get something to happen. And the fact that everyone on the pitch knows exactly what's about to happen, and it still winds up in the back of the net is what makes it incredible.
Exactly. It's funny because, like, as far as, good save from Typical on the goal line there to get that one away. And yeah, as far as like stylish shots we've seen today, First Kill has hit multiple shots that were better than that already. But it's just surely they can't possibly score this. There's no way he successfully bamboozles two people.
Every now and again.
Every now and again, you're smart. Oh, the outfield pass. Arsenal shot sneaks under the crossbar. Holy cow, Space Station's on fire.
How about digging this one out of the corner with the challenge? And Typical, instead of just ripping it to the right side because he sees Wonder Mike camped up on the back wall, how about you throw it back into the corner and let Arsenal shoot it far post? Now that is some vision and some great reactions.
The outfield pass gives them the 2-0 lead. United yet to get on the board. They have been mostly on defense so far this game, but still well over half the game to play. It's difficult to carry it above One to Mike in his own corner. Spends a lot of boost just getting this to midfield, but Reynolds right there to pick it up, and he's got a full tank. Takes his time. Takes a little bit too long, actually. Hoxer's able to get there. Not able to connect with Ajax on the back wall, though. Now One to Mike in the midfield. Beats one. Into the corner.
Now, while Reynolds has made a couple of nice touches, Reynolds, I do feel, is struggling with that initial first touch on a couple of his approaches to the ball. I really want to start to see him clean that up and really get some clean transitions from Space Station from defense to offense.
Yeah, that one goal he did score, he did have just an overwhelming amount of space to work with. As he carries it under one. That was a solid first touch. And now tries to go for the slow games again. They don't fall for it this time. 1:56 on the clock. Arsenal will look for goalies. Gets one, but not able to get out all of them. Hoxer gets up in the air.
Unfortunate. Right into the nose of his teammate in the corner. Just stall out the offense right there. Just brutal.
Typical stops one here in the corner. Now looking to get it past two. The small touches. Can he get it past the third? No. Ajax rips it straight downfield, and Arsenal's not going to be able to get there in time. That's the first goal for United.
Arsenal definitely realized the trouble he was in pretty quick. He was playing tight there. Well past the midfield line, flipping back. Didn't land cleanly. Was definitely rushing. And it kind of happens whenever you double tap the flip button a little too quickly. Sometimes the front of your car kicks the nose into the ground, and it just kind of causes a little bit of a tailspin, and it requires some perfect control to recover from that, and Arsenal just missed it.
Oh, Arsenal 2 touches to neutralize the offensive play. Now Typical sends one soft towards the goal. Ajax happy to deflect it. Wonder Mike into the corner. Arsenals touches it back in the midfield, and Hoxer and Ajax and look to respond. 2 shots, 2 touches to a shot on target, but Arsenal, actually Typical rather, gets up and makes that save. The 1-goal lead for Space Station. They started off hot, but they've cooled off just a little bit here, and eUnited's now got it within reach.
And you've seen this whole development of everyone going for these soft first touches, Riddles with a flip reset, and Wonder Mike, a good cover-up, just with him all the way from the sidewall. But it's such a fun development. If you think back to, what was it, Season 4, when Squishy hit that first big flip reset. And nowadays, you just see all these players with this almost spot-on perfect first touch delivery to themselves, and it's turning into the mind game war of, am I going up? Am I going to let it fall? Am I going for the flip reset? What's happening? And it's really putting a lot more pressure on defenses to force you to show your hand when you're approaching. Like, look, they're thinking about how to challenge Typical right there, and it's just wasting time.
Ooh, tries to drop it. Dangerous. Reynolds nearly gets the security. 2 seconds left, though. Ball in the enemy corner. United probably gonna be taking the loss here, but they keep it awake. Okay, Ajax in the midfield. Typical's up. He should be able to kill this, and Ajax bumped. That one should do it. Hoxer, we get underneath it, and they're now to emptiness. No, it hits the corner. Here's Wonder Mike. Can they? This is Rocket League it. Wonder Mike now back around. Oh, and he gets the pass. Oh, but Reddles up first. Nice read. Space Station will secure it after some last-minute drama. Yes, that will be game number 1 from the new hotness.
They will survive, but only just. It got a little bit dicey there at 0 seconds, but 1 missed touch, and then they just didn't have the positioning to recover. So Space Station get it done. Typical Arsenal and Reddles put up a bunch of offense. eUnited with a couple shots here or there, but otherwise definitely forced to play a lot of defense out on their own half at the midfield line and keep a lot of dangerous chances away. But overall, really not a bad first game from eUnited. It's definitely going to take a little bit to lock in, and the most crucial one is that one right there from Reddles with that soft power slide, and that second goal. I mean, Arsenal back into the corner was just disgusting.
They were both nasty goals. I love the choice. Like, it's just like the average professional team, they see that pass to Typical, they expect a shot from Typical. It's too complicated to pass directly back 180 degrees to send it directly back in the direction it came from, and then he's got such a much more difficult shot to make. It's just such an easier play to just take that infield shot. Instead, they go for the much higher difficulty play, and they pull it off, which means the defense is just completely there was no one who's gonna touch that ball. You know, like, it's brilliant stuff.
That's the beauty of passing in Rocket League. A lot of times the professional teams understand exactly the process of getting the ball into the middle or passing to teammates, and they have pretty good awareness as Reddles just puts the pressure on Ajax, and he will escort Typical all the way to the goal line. And
classic Reddles right here. Just, excuse me, let's get rid of you. Thank you.
And Ajax understands, like, he knows he's in the 2-on-1 and he's trying to dodge the demo. And he just cuts out to the left there to see if he can get Reddles to speed by him and cut back inside. And off the kickoff, he'll make it back here. But it's just defense nowadays has turned into, instead of, what it was initially, which was clear the ball as hard as you could and then clear the ball to a teammate. And now it's stop dangerous approaches, and unfortunately, Space Station Gaming can't do that here because they just get stuffed by Hoxer twice in a row.
The fact that Arsenal made that first save is impressive there in the 3v1, but not the perfect save. Definitely just bounced off the ceiling, easily read by Wonder Mike, and he'll tie that game. 4:32 left to go. Space Station took game number 1. Again, best of 3 to send you to next weekend. The winner will qualify. Did I say best of 3? I meant best of 5.
I hope it's best of 5. I'll be real sad if it's best of 3. That means this is the last one.
Oh, wow. See, so Space Station's just winning it. You're already calling it here.
Oh, wait. This is game 2. Ignore me.
That's typical. Challenging Hoxer. Wonder Mike will win that one. He's got Ajax in tow behind him. Reddles. Clean win. Hoxer just has to punt it high. Goalie demolished. Arsenal tries to take the shot, bounces off the ground, and the soft touch from Typical. Man, nobody from eUnited was able to get set up on defense.
Well, the thing about it is nobody from eUnited can make it back there because Ajax was expecting the pass. He needs to take time to make sure he reads the bounce properly, and the other person is rotating back from the midfield, racing as fast as they can. What's really underrated is Typical realizing quickly that that ball's actually off a lot sooner than a lot of people realize, and that is the classic example of advantage of position. Typical has the play in front of him. The defender has to wait to make sure he reads the bounce properly so he doesn't mess up the clear. Typical is able to get there and slam the door shut.
Arsenal through the sky. Onto the backboard. Typical to cover up over one to Mike. Ajax in goal. Will slow this one down, hold on to it himself, and take to the air. And challenged by Reddles. And then shot by Arsenal. Made it through one to Mike. That one's rough.
And this is what happens when your first touch is not perfect. Ajax does not get a good second touch there. Tries to go for the fake, but Reddles has the perfect height control to understand there's only so many places this ball can go. And my car is big enough to cover all of them, so he just puts his car bang on right there, and there's no way that one was getting through. So Ajax, just with a little bit of a loss of command there, just conceded.
Oh, does Arsenal get up in time? No, he sure doesn't. One to Mike will finish it off the kickoff, and we're back to a one-goal game.
Well, hello, Wonder Mike. I forgot that everyone thinks you're amazing, and I see now why, because that is a beautiful read off the bounce from the corner right to yourself. And even better, the shot to the far end of the pitch in the back corner, perfectly hit to get above that midfield line. All right, I understand why everyone wanted you. I get it.
That's the replay of what happened in Arsenal's mind. Okay, I'm gonna move up and take a. Oh crap! Never mind. Oh, look, up here. That's on target. One to Mike up. Arsenal will stop this one. Sets it up for Typical, who manages to trap this one himself, but gets immediately tackled. Ball back into the orange. Two players advancing. Arsenal gets a pass both of them. Ajax with a quick 180 will try to slow down Arsenal. Gets a pass across as Typical manages to get up in time. The defense just barely getting in the way. Two players tangled on top of each other in the corner, and Reynolds pushes it in. Man, eUnited's defense is just a little bit tied up around themselves right now.
This is an awkward one in the corner. Wonder Mike, it comes off the wheels. Ajax tries to take it off him right when Wonder Mike tips it again, so neither of them really has command of the ball, and Reynolds is just like, I'm going to go challenge it. Oh, they lost it. Cool, it's in the goal. We'll take that. That's just pressure from Reynolds being applied for the sake of pressure, and the defense not able to get its feet under him.
It's Ajax to the edge. Wonder Mike in his own corner. Arsenal to cover him up, and now to chase this one down. Looked for the dunk, but Hoxer gets it over the top and out to Wonder Mike. Now Typical intercepts both those touches off the backboard, nearly finds the demolition onto Ajax, but nobody would have been there to take the shot. And 2:17 on the clock. Wonder Mike's got to make this touch, and he does. Now Reddles out. Ajax and Wonder Mike teaming up. Back into the orange.
I owe Wonder Mike an apology. I thought eUnited there was absolutely toast. But again, he made a perfect save off a tough read.
Oh, Typical manages to do just enough to stall out the eUnited offense. Typical over one, and now two players going to chase. Typical will stay back on defense. Now he's up to the midfield. Ajax over the top. Typical fell back. Stalls it out. Wonder Mike tries to take it off of him, but just cannot get it through Typical.
It's just everyone has that approach to the ball these days. And whoa! Wonder Mike not able to muscle it down the middle because Spacestation Gaming sets up what looked like a three-man triangle dive right in the center of the goal, and they all collectively pushed it out.
They split a save across the three of them. That was the textbook slam the door on him on what was a brilliant pass. eUnited had that one. It was their shot to lose, and they lost it. My goodness. Two demolitions. We'll go for momentary 2v2. Reynolds to the corner. Hoxer gets it away. Final minute, down by 2. eUnited's got to find a way back into this game or be tasked with reverse sweeping the hottest team in North America. Reynolds through the air, past one. Now Hoxer couldn't make it work. Wonder Mike demolished on his way onto offense. Ajax is going to go from playing the third man second shot offense to just stall it and keep my team from losing.
Man. So I'm starting to think that Spacestation Gaming aren't just winning games because they're so aggressive and they just put all the pressure in the world on their opposition when they're on offense and score open goals. Obviously that's part of it, but what just happened right here is why they're such a hot team. I mean, they just win all these challenges. Won the miss. Reddles reads the miss. Everyone from eUnited thinks their teammate has it. Reddles is the only one that's right. And on top of that, Arsenal, Typical, and Reynolds collectively are just winning challenges.
Jeez, imagine watching Wonder Mike take to the air and reading the miss. You're like, he's not going to get that. I'll watch this. He's going to miss on the wall. Yep, there you go. Cool. Free goal. Only Reynolds.
Ooh.
Space Station, 2 games in a row now. 5-2. And they are on a heater at this point. This team, does 12 shots to 5. And only Arsenal putting up saves.
I mean, it could have been anyone, really. There weren't too many chances for eUnited in this one. It was just eUnited mis-executing just a little bit, and Space Station jumped all over it. It was actually kind of insane. I mean, the demo there, that's just a good play. They catch him on transition. Another demo, and this is just Typical with the advantage of position. Wonder Mike, this is their first real goal where they definitely caught Space Station a little bit surprised, because who thinks a shot's possible from that angle? Reynolds reads the miss, and again, all of eUnited caught pushing forward because it's just slightly off from eUnited, and Space Station Gaming, other than that, batting every ball out of the air down, taking away a lot of those first touch air dribbles. I was trying to talk about it in the middle of the game, that's what offense has become. The soft first touch into the mind game, into making a play happen. There's a lot less passing. Obviously it still happens, but now it's just how many defenders can we beat before we have to pass the ball off to a teammate? And it's putting a lot of pressure on defenses. Because, back in season maybe 4, 5, 6, like Rocket League became an incredibly defensive game. And now you're seeing it turn back into an incredibly offensive game where it's all about how many people can we make really, really sad and then score the flashiest goal ever. Bang.
Oh, okay, that was a pretty flashy one there. Hoxer hits the double tap.
Gently lofted up, perfect delivery off the backboard, and Arsenal knew it. As soon as he saw Hoxer hit that ball towards the wall, he tried to get up there, but he knew there was going to be no chance. And it was all about, does Hoxer nail it? Absolutely.
4:51 on the clock. United with the best goal of their series so far. And let's try and make it 2 here off the gate. Hoxer not quite able to find a shot. Too many defenders in his way. Typical will find a clear. Nope. Ajax up. Connects with Hoxer. Now Ajax looking to see if he can pop a defender. Instead, actually wanted to look for the shot. One to Mike now versus Arsenal. Arsenal wins, looks for a second touch into the box. Hoxer just kind of flipping loose, and Arsenal gets back. Do they have any more axles?
What? I don't know.
All their axles are broken. They're out. They're now using toothpicks.
I'm just so sad. Hoxer just threw out the no problem in chat. He knows he probably should have had that one, because I was just sitting there thinking, Hoxer, how did you not get a piece of that?
Man, you want to talk about like a momentum killer? You just hit like a banger goal, like get the hype back, and then you're the one that makes a mistake, and you're like, oh.
It was a routine one too.
Oh,
and they get scored on out of the corner. When it rains, it pours.
Arsenal, great pass. Typical, great shot placement. Look at this, upper 90, perfect stuff. The only shot really available to him was all the rest of it was covered up by Ajax, but no, just like that, just when it was like, oh, look, United's coming up, it's game 3, this is their game. Now, pow, pow, Space Station sends them back to negatives.
And Arsenal with a nice pass there as well. Unfortunately, off the kickoff, it goes a little bit further south, and it comes right back. Arsenal sets up a beautiful pass, and then mistouches one back, and Typical tries to get it out to Reynolds, gets it a little too strong, and Wonder Mike and Hoxer, they jump all over it. That was basically what was happening to eUnited last game. It was, oh, that's not quite right, and Space Station's all over them, but there's a big equalizer. eUnited giving them a little bit of it too.
All right, momentum neutralized. We're now playing a 4-minute game of Rocket League. Just ignore the first 4 goals at this point. None of them mattered. How does the rest of this match play out? Who's able to reset better?
Yeah, this is also part of the Gibbs format. Game 3 is always 4 minutes, 2-2.
That's right. Typical. We'll push it through to Reynolds on the far side. The full take of boost over the top of Ajax. Hawks are on the back wall. Back away, no one in the midfield to shoot on Typical's pass. Reynolds will stay up. Typical half rotates in. Reynolds shot just wide. Be cleared away by Ajax. Now Arsenal off the ceiling. Can't get out of the corner, though. Ajax traps it back in. Now there's one touch in front. Hoxer gets up quickly before any shot could come through. One of Mike demolished in goal. But the stop, Hoxer's able to kill that one and hold on to the ball. Poor one of Mike gets bumped off the spawn. Now onto the backboard once more. Sypical not quite able to reach it, but Ajax misses the double tap.
I mean, that's a real tough double tap. I mean, coming at it from that angle where you really got to get up there and get above the ball just takes so much boost, and it's really just a matter of do you have the space to make it happen or not. And unfortunately, Ajax ran out of room right at the end.
Sypical off the edge. Took a shot, defended by Hoxer. Now to the corner. There's through one. Ajax sitting alone in net, just having to hold on to it, waiting for Hoxer to rotate back before attacking. Now gets 2 touches. Just keep it in midfield and give his team a better field position. We'll advance on to offense. United advance with 2 players, kind of sent one shot up onto the backboard and then backed all the way off. Here comes Space Station now. 3 players in the blue. Does this get behind him, though? Arsenal manages to make the stop on what would have been the go-ahead goal. 2:02 on the clock. Cross halftime here. Arsenal pinches in the midfield. Here's a wonder Mike just blocked at the point of contact by Sypical. What a read. Now, Reynolds back down in.
This is a great game for United, really. They're putting a lot of pressure on Space Station Gaming here in the midfield. That one squeaks through, but United really's got a good grip on the ball here.
Arsenal from his own corner. Flying in. Here's Wonder Mike. Shot to the back net. Be off the backboard and deflected by Sypical. Hoxer's the next one in rotation. Sypical's got it over the top of him, and now Ajax. It's all up him in the backfield. Sypical shoots to the far corner. Ajax makes the save to keep the game within reach. Still tied up with 1:23 left to go, but here comes Space Station. One to Mike down. Ajax on the flank. Can they find this counterattack? He looks for the read, but it's too difficult. One to Mike off the backboard, and Sypical will stretch it over the top of Hoxer.
Oh, Reynolds, what a read.
Way up high. Now is he going to be right there in the corner? Lofted across, 2 defenders up. Is Sypical anywhere to be found? He was there, but one of Mike's able to cover up the shot. Now Arsenal. Back pass to Reynolds. To the side. Sypical's already pre-jumped off the wall, makes contact, and Hoxer will get the stop.
Oh, quick transition here from the United. That is a delicate touch from Arsenal. Look at the command to keep it close.
Now looking for bumps. Not going to find him. One of Mike gets a pass 2. Up against Sypical now in the corner. Neutral 50-50. Here comes Ajax into an up and net. That'll be it. They're able to stop them from rotating back in, and United's got the lead.
And this is all that pressure I was talking about. It demands perfection from Sypical, and he tries to backflip to get his wheels back on the wall to recover. But unfortunately, he just stalls out in the air and leaves it wide open for Ajax. Just brutal.
33 seconds left. Space Station for the first time trailing here. Late in the game. Can they tie it up? Or are we going to game 4? A pass across. Reynolds, soft touch. Arsenal thinks about it. Knows back to Sypical. Oh, in the block. Hoxer keeps the lead. 15 seconds left. Arsenal now into the corner. Wonder Mike to try and stop him. It's back dangerous. Reynolds is up. The defense is all amuck as the offense rolls through the goal line. Here's one last shot. No! Blocked back away. Hoxer will put one for the road. They secure it here. We'll go to game 4.
Hoxer drives the nail home. Sypical trying to stretch. Ajax cut it off. Arsenal knew he needed a piece, but the biggest play of that entire sequence wasn't the goal. It was Hoxer making the save as Space Station Gaming pushed up the field. They had so many options. Do they go for the pass back? Do they hit the backboard? Do they shoot the top right corner? Hoxer not fazed by all of it. Just stayed with the play and what he saw. Made a big stop, and eUnited forced game 4 off of what is a fantastic game. And unfortunately, Space Station Gaming gonna have to play another 5 minutes.
They're gonna have to find a way to finish it off. The United, that game genuinely, especially that last minute or so, since like that gave me a lot of hope this United team really can make this comeback here. Not just because they managed to find some goals, but because of how difficult the defense was before that. They had to stop some major opportunities from Space Station, handled them with poise, and managed to convert it onto offense and actually get the goal. That was beautiful.
And just phenomenal. Starting off from the get-go. I mean, 8 seconds in, Hoxer drills a double tap like that. Unfortunately, it went off the rails pretty quick, but after that, I felt like eUnited really settled in beautifully, even coming back from down in the game again in what is not a knockout game, but, the series ender. And then they just absolutely squeezed Space Station into oblivion. All of that command and Space Station winning all the challenges, just gone. Phenomenal game from eUnited. Some good adjustments. Ajax, Hoxer, and Wonder Mike getting out in front, meeting Space Station at points of contact. And they really did a nice job, but still got 10 more minutes to go. So every journey with a single step, but the most important one's the next one.
Yeah, they'll try to make it just 5 minutes here. Space Station going to see if they can do this one. But man, Wonder Mike in particular, I felt like really lit up that series, especially on the defense and in the midfield. The challenge game was where Space Station was absolutely dominating, and United may have managed to neutralize that advantage here. So we'll go to game 4. Space Station still in the lead with match point. The United on the board. Arsenal now to the corner. Ajax, stop 1. Hawks are off to the side. Ball spending a lot of time in midfield. Nice bounce off the ground to try and get it underneath the Space Station offense. Demolition in enemy territory here. Arsenal going to be spawning back in this corner. It's a nice fortunate spawn there to get through 1, and now a bit of a double commit is all up to Reddles here. He goes into this challenge. It goes not in his favor. So it bounces off the wall, off the ceiling, and then back into the box. Here's Typical. Cross 1 now into the midfield. Got it through 2. It's a tiny little soft flip touch to try and give it to Reddles, but not going to work out. eUnited slowly gaining ground and momentum in this series.
But you can see Space Station, they actually are working really hard to concede as little as possible. They're willing to give up possession of the ball to secure boost pads. And that's because they know that if they take away the boost, it's going to be a lot harder for eUnited to hang with the play for longer. So they're willing to give up that first bit of possession if it means being in a better spot in a couple of touches.
3:30 on the clock. Arsenal. Into the corner. Reynolds now up. Arsenal a long way down the field into the corner. Ajax takes his time here. He was waiting for Hoxer out of the corner. And the fact that we're seeing patience out of eUnited. They got kind of stomped in games 1 and 2, but then game 3 managed to really come back to life in a sincere way. And then here, scoreless in game 4. A nice infield pass. It's just enough of a bouncer for Reynolds to reach it.
Trying to pay Reynolds back.
They're keeping their wits about them. They are genuinely like, what do we need to do to win in this moment, in this game? Not thinking about the fact that they need to reverse sweep or anything. Oh, Arsenal with a block. Ajax's shot is high. The follow-up from Wonder Mike, though, do the wonders here, and they've got the lead.
I thought for sure this was going to just fall apart. I mean, when they just shoot that ball on target with, the defenders just sitting in the goal, I thought for sure Space Station was going to be able to handle that one, but the save itself just kind of tipped right back in, and then it went off the backboard. I was like, well, I guess they're not completely out of it. So eUnited, I thought, squandered it, but pleased to say they proved me wrong.
Right here at halftime, United took game number 3 and now leading in game number 4 again. Currently shutting out Space Station. Team that has scored pretty early in most of our games. This one easily the slowest of the series. Both teams starting to serious up a little bit. Stop playing as cocky. Typical off the wall will miss, and Hoxer gets this one back to midfield. I don't think there's an empty backfield here for Space Station. They've got to play some retreating defense. There's a block on 1, a block on 2. Typical gets the block on the shot. And that pinch was an absolute hyper beam.
Scary one, too. Arsenal kind of just knew it was over his head, turned around, and hoped for the best. Hoxer will slip it through. He's been working some magic here in game 4. And he works another bit of it here. Soft catch. Gets Reddles with a pre-flip to the back post. Reddles thinking he was going to try and bring that down, maybe double jump it or something. But Reddles just got beat by the speed.
2-0. eUnited starting to take control of the series. Space Station spent so much time on offense in the first 2 games, struggling to find a decent shot here in game 4. Onto the backboard, the demolition on the Wonder Mike will relieve some pressure. Reynolds wants to think about it, but he's too low on boost, and so he instead looks for goalies. Typical. Pop over one. Ajax down the field. One of Mike wants to reach for it. Reynolds already airborne. Will cover him up. That's Typical. Can he connect with Reynolds on the far side? Reynolds moves back into the midfield. Typical's just going to go for the full carry. Gets two defenders out of it. Reynolds should have a full enough to shoot at.
Wow.
Ajax gets back up and saves it. What a stop. Now it's Typical to carry to the air again. Dude, the ballerina goals. Are they going to get the full air dribble? Not going to happen. Reynolds, he's up for a shot, but it's too soft. There's just no way they put pace on this ball.
Oh, and he took it away. Hoxer. How do you keep denying him chances? Flick into the corner. Oh, Space Station's dead here. They got nothing.
There's Reynolds with half a tank and a dream. Gets it through one off the ground. Went for the fake. Ajax doesn't have... It's not that Ajax didn't fall for it. There was nothing to fall for. He just didn't actually put a shot on target. Ajax just got to sit there and watch. Now Hawks are back down. 30 seconds left. eUnited, 2 goals. That 2-goal lead going to be a benefit. Let's make it 3. One to Mike on the crazy cross-field pass. They're going to win it. We're going to go to Game 5.
Let's go see Game 5. I'm looking forward to it. eUnited turning it all the way back around, and a couple of big defensive stops. Space Station Gaming kind of scratching their heads and thinking, why are we not getting the goals? Well, because if you think about all the goals they've scored in the series, they've been on missed touches, open nets, or a demo play, and Hoxer has not been popping off in games 1 and 2.
Man, 10 seconds left. This game's already over. If there was a forfeit Professional Rocket League, they would have definitely hit it. They knew this one was over when that 3rd goal went in, and honestly, it was kind of over right before it went in as well. Game 5 inbound, eUnited heating up hot here, and this does beg the question. This really calls into question what Gibbs was criticizing about the Space Station team. Reynolds is a hype player. He is a player that is all about mentality, and honestly, Typical and Arsenal, pretty hype players as well. How do they play when the momentum gets robbed from them, when they've had 2 chances to win this series, and now they've got to do it in Game 5? Can they bounce back and put it together? We're about to find out, Chiefs.
Can they bounce back? I think yes. Will they bounce back? Remains to be seen, especially because I really do think eUnited playing out of their minds here in this Game 4. I mean, defensive stop after defensive stop, and I thought that shot right there, this goal was one that was just never going to happen, but the defense from Space Station Gaming kind of falling apart. Hoxer delivers this big stinger late in the game, and again, just digs it out of the corner all the way across. And I mean, Hoxer that whole game, getting the ball out of the corner, I mean, that was some real wizardry on a lot of those challenges, really thinking about the timing and the angle of the car and a lot of those 50-50s. So credit to Hoxer for digging those ones out and getting the ball in scoreable positions, and more often than not, just beating defenders. So credit to him. He gets my MVP, even though I think he finished at the bottom of the scoreboard.
Hey, you know, carrying from the bottom of the scoreboard, it could happen. Johnny Boy taught me all about it. Game 5 here, Champions Field. All these players trying to become world champs. Names of the legends hang in the rafters. And it's all about this next 5 minutes to qualify for next Saturday, the first step to getting that opportunity. Sipco and Reynolds to the edge now. Typical to slow playing this one. He's going to reverse Goomba Ajax to give that ball over to his team.
Real hefty first touches as well from Space Station Gaming. They've lost a little bit of that command that they really had early on in the series. And is it born out of frustration, or is it just mechanics not on point as the series has gone on? Who knows? You do have to play a lot of Rocket League. I mean, most of these teams are used to playing 1 or 2 matches a day, and they've been up all morning screaming and getting set. And they could be running out of gas.
There's Reynolds with the shot. Hoxer gets the save. Typical now. Trap this. Slow play it across. Reynolds now to pick up control. Pass in front of the box. Shot from Arsenal. Not going to be good. Demolition on the one to Mike. Gives them maybe a little bit of space here on offense, but can they take advantage of it? Typical has been loving the air dribble, but not really working out for him just yet, as Hoxer is able to cover up Reynolds. A demolition on the one to Mike in the midfield will relieve a little bit of pressure here, but if they're able to get the pass off, it won't matter. Now Reynolds turning this one back around on the counterattack. One to Mike to shut it down. Arsenal trying to get it through, and Hoxer is able to push it to the corner. Now Typical back into the midfield. Reynolds thinks about it, but Ajax will now look for Hoxer and one to Mike. Offensive double commit. I don't know if they'll get punished for it as one of Mike holds on to control.
That bounce hurts Space Station so much because it means it stays in eUnited control. Thankfully, they get their own fortunate bounce one-on-one, and Hoxer will win the challenge.
Oh, it's typical. It's a nice soft one, but everyone saw the soft one coming. They knew they had time. One of Mike down to the corner. Approaching halftime here in Game 5. Still scoreless. The fake on Arsenal for 1. Can he get 2? The pass across the rails. Blocked by Hoxer. Typical up for the shot. Blocked by Hoxer again from the air. Didn't even have to land. And we're still scoreless.
More mind games. They let that ball roll for forever. And Hoxer just stared at it, says, you won't. And then he makes 2 back-to-back saves. Massive defensive stand.
Hoxer out to one to Mike. Takes the shot. Reynolds got the save. Hoxer over the top. Typical now upfield looking for goalies. Looked for the bump on one of Mike, but he got in the air in time. Now Arsenal, soft touch. Takes it straight to the goal. Ajax drives straight out to meet him. 209. Under Mike with a flick. Arsenal stops. Hoxer picks it up in the corner. Bounces it over 1 and now looks for a pass. Ajax wins the challenge on the wall. Now Arsenal trying to hold on to control. Looks for the dunk on 1. Now Reynolds off the wall. Back up to Arsenal. Looking for the outfield pass. It's on target. Hoxer makes another stop. Typical looking for the shot. No. Blocked by Ajax before he can put it together. Now Hoxer out to Ajax. Blocked by Reynolds. Typical trying to rotate it back around as one of Mike puts it straight down the middle of the field high by the ceiling.
Ooh. Awkward ball here for Arsenal.
Oh, and Arsenal back down the other way. It's in front of the box, and one to Mike will just push it back to midfield. 1:28 on the clock, still scoreless.
And this is a good move here from Reynolds. Slow the pace of the game down, reset everything, make sure all of your team's on the same page and knows what's about to happen. And I think that's absolutely what Space Station needed. Felt like eUnited really just getting their paws on everything, it felt like. So slowing it down, guaranteeing possession, that's what needs to happen. And here he does not go for the same approach, tries to launch one to Typical in the opposite corner.
It's a good mindset, but as we get into this final minute, the slower games have benefited eUnited. I feel the longer this game goes, the more it slips into the favor of eUnited. Overtime, not what Space Station wants here, but there's the pass across, no one there to take the shot. One to Mike will get his own boost, and now a play past one offensive blocker. Hoxer in front, demolition on the one to Mike. Ajax in the open field. Can Reynolds find the shot as an open net? Couldn't connect. Typical up, just pushes it high. One to Mike off the backward. He traps it. No! Ajax will get the save. He gets up in time. Reynolds now to the corner. One to Mike, trying to stop him, but Reynolds just bumping him out of the way. Ball's dangerous. Hoxer gets it out to Ajax. Now looking for the counterattack. Arsenal should have this one clean off to the edge, but here comes the rest of eUnited back up in front of the air. One to Mike onto the backboard, and Arsenal gets it away. 10 seconds, looking like overtime, unless eUnited can put it together right here. Ajax to one, Reynolds into the corner. One to Mike's up for the shot, pushes it down. Overtime in Game 5. Next goal goes to Saturday.
Thought one to Mike was going to say, yeah, that's why they picked me up there for a moment. Caught it just under the bumper. Kicked it into the ground, but I think Space Station Gaming got away with one here in that regulation.
Both teams be able to play lights out. They've got multiple opportunities to qualify after this day, but you know they would love to just build it away in this series right now. One goal to send you to next weekend. Reynolds into this corner. United trying, dismantled by Reynolds. Typical down the field, putting Ajax on his back field. Here's Typical to win it. Couldn't do it. One to Mike, gets it away, and now pops it over two. Looking for the counterattack all by himself. Gets a dunk on the third. Here's Hoxer for a shot. Typical's up and gets the stop.
Panic.
Arsenal helps him out, but it goes to the corner. Oh, they pinch it out. We're going to keep playing.
Ajax is absolutely furious with himself. He knows that was it. Arsenal on a dribble.
Oh, Arsenal going to try and break the souls of eUnited. This series started with a double axle break. Can it end with 3 heartbreaks here? Space Station going to try and break him in the long con, dangle it in front of them, and then snatch it away at the last moment. There's an Arsenal pass to Reynolds. Shot high. He had a chance to win it too.
Very difficult shot. Hoxer for one to Mike, and Space Station Gaming are forced into boomer mode.
Space Station had a double commit, but they got all of it, and now the shot just barely high. Hoxer going to try and dribble this one out. We've seen him dribble plenty of wins for United. Ajax past one. One to Mike. Slowing the pace down for a second. Typical off the ceiling, looking for the flip reset. Got it off the ceiling, but blocked this time. Play has improved so much. Space Station with opportunities here, but the defense just really well positioned every time to handle it.
You got to start favoring eUnited. It's just, I think Space Station have kind of just lost that command. They just don't have the control of the ball to really place it out to teammates anymore, and they're kind of just driving it into eUnited.
Arsenal! Oh, Hoxer gets the stop. Typical. He's got to try and look for the back pass here to Reynolds, but gets demolished. Just barely able to stop it. As Arsenal now one to Mike on the backboard. Drop it. Dangerous. Reynolds nearly own goals now. Typical back out to the corner. He's going to go for the carry. He's got enough boost now. Can he get it through all the defenders? Hoxer off that back wall. Arsenal's there. And don't forget, plenty of goals for Space Station have come on just blatant errors from eUnited in this series. They've got to keep playing perfectly. They've got momentum, and when they're on offense, they look good. But one flub on defense sends Space Station through to next week.
A little bit of space here for Space Station. Hoxer actually says, nope, never mind. How about a demo when we take the ball back?
Reynolds off the high wall. He's going to hold on to this himself. The top of two, dribbling on the wall. Hoxer, there's a double commit, but holds on to the ball. Now one to Mike. Very confusing offensive drive to Reed. Ajax's shot a little bit wide, and Arsenal gets himself a save your medal. Down into the blue corner once more. 3:29 into overtime. Reynolds up to try and take the win. Hoxer's got a block. Typical to try and stall it and give Arsenal an opportunity. He's got it onto the back wall once more. One to Mike's touch is just soft. Two of them to kind of put it into an oblong spot where Space Station wasn't positioned to handle it. Now Reynolds keeps it on the ground underneath one. Two players in the corner. Bad positioning here for United, but one to Mike manages to recover. Demolition on the other corner of the goal. Momentary 2v2, and United's going to stabilize.
Love Reynolds' approach there. He wasn't thinking demo. He was thinking goal, and that one's off the crossbar. Typical floats it back post for Reynolds again, and Ajax there to make the stop. eUnited hanging on just barely.
4:05. Nearly played 2 games. Arsenal looks for the bump on Ajax. Now Reynolds in front of the goal and look for goal. He gets the bump. Mike gets the save. Oh, you're kidding me. That was insane.
How many more can happen? Oh, in the pinch, they get out of another jam. You're kidding.
You just can't. How many times can you kill this team? How many lives do they have? One to Mike. Across the goal. Look for goalies. Didn't find any. Arsenal now back down to get the block on Ajax. He doesn't have any support in this midfield, and Hoxer's got up and into the air to get control of the ball. Nice deflection from Arsenal. Reynolds to chase it. Ajax now for one to Mike. United looking to win it on this drive. Hoxer back in front. No one in there. They all rotate out. Hashtag just overtime things.
Just trading blows back and forth. It's suffocating offensive drive after suffocating offensive drive. That's a big miss from Typical, but nobody there. Everyone, you can't blame the United. They thought Typical was going to hit that ball. And that's floated into the middle.
Heavy positioning in front of the box. Nobody home in front of the goal. Can they get there off the wall? Reynolds will get it to the side. And traps it again. Now 1v1 against one to Mike. Over the top. One to Mike. Doesn't care how many players they are. Still makes the save. Arsenal off the ceiling. He's done. Looks for the ceiling shot. Not going to be good. Reynolds with lots of space, though. Into the air. How much boost does he have to work with? He's got Typical underneath. Goes for the flip reset. Shut down by Hoxer. 5 minutes and 32 seconds into overtime. They've played 6 games.
It's got to be eUnited's turn now, right? It's been a minute and a half of Space Station. Let's see what eUnited's got one more time.
I don't know, man. I like Rocket League because it's not a turn-based game. You make your own turns. Here comes Reynolds. 2 players on defense, all amuck. Arsenal going to try and take advantage of this all by himself. Off the wall, there's 2 players out. Typical, can he put it in? No, Wonder Mike stops him again. This man is just incredible.
Typical actually had the right idea. Pass it to himself and jam it into the near post, and the snap read from Wonder Mike was just phenomenal.
They've got 13 saves. People are just... I mean, you just forfeit if your Space Station's like, fine, we can't score on you. We're done. You can have it. We'll go to the next series. Here comes Reynolds. They'll try and finish it off. One to Mike now through the air. Arsenal airborne as well. Not able to stop much. Here's Hoxer. Off the wall. Ajax for the win. Can't block it. Reynolds gives him an opportunity to the corner. Oh, and they block another one. They get out of it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. The shots were so scary. That slow roller to the back post. I thought Space Station were going to just be two taken aback. It took two people to poke it to safety. Ajax rips one up the pitch.
Can Reynolds get this? He gets it past one. Okay, Hawks are one of like too far back to make the shot. There was nobody home for Space Station. Reynolds bails him out. 7 minutes in. There's a bump on one.
What an overtime.
Sipical, long way down. Wonder Mike, not gonna make it!
No.
He doesn't make it! Sipical scores, and it was ultimately the eUnited mistake that decides the series.
Wonder Mike 30 boost, and he ran out. I went to his camera, and he ran out of boost. He missed one pad, and he was the only one in position to get there. And Space Station threw up a prayer. Lo and behold, it was answered. Unfortunate for eUnited. A phenomenal series. Bring it all the way back. And then you just don't have enough in the tank to get there. You hate to see that.
You do, my goodness, the 20 shots we saw there from Space Station. Not the world record, but close to it. Getting up there high. 14 saves United put up there. 5 from Ajax, 5 from Hoxer, 4 from Wonder.